You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they alright?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you gonna do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them.
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. And I can't risk that.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Aha.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Aha. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.
Be shy. Quality goods here.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do. Ha!
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another Gawker?
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. So if you ain't one of them gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm in service of the Lords of Lipa. I'm to find out who was responsible for this murder.
What do the Lords of Lipa care about a dead girl?
Truth be told, not much. But it's at the request of her master.
Ah, that makes more sense. At least someone is trying to sort this out. The others weren't so lucky. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses.
Thanks again, Master Gravedigger. So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? And her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. The murderer must have wanted her to suffer, so he started ripping her hair out. Sick bastard. Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they are by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. You cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. Then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have... I don't know why he killed her. Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice? Aye, she was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that. And also about Lumir.
Well, if you're interested, go and see him. Maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then, I found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why?
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now. Lumir?
Oh, Christ, my head.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this, unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off. This should sober him up. Oh, no. Nothing.
Oh.
Ich bin gleich bei dir. Was möchtest du, mein Herr?
I'll have a look at the wares.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for.
Lumir? Do you hear me? Oh. He's still This should sober. Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
They say that about you. Why?
Because I was just on some wild goose chase. And what came of it? Absolutely nothing.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be.
Because I know people, and can easily convince them. In the end, they spill their guts.
Is that so? What about me? Do you think I'll spill my guts too?
Well, a moment ago you were moaning in pain, and now you're deliberating whether or not to tell me what you know.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls, Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid, and she was orphaned as they found her.
Did you have
At first, then I...
Why?
Well, for besides, then is maybe...
What about...
She was a...
You said...
You have no... Unfortunately,
Did you...
you could see in...
And what about...
Exact side.
But if...
Because she was young. I never could... Maybe. When I asked her...
Do you think...
Me, my... Besides.
And what about...
It all... She don't... But the... She said she knew...
You mean...
That's what... In the... It says no...
Why were you...
I don't know. Kuttenberg, the bed, but then exactly when... Not...
What happened?
I don't...
Did you...
You can... I always...
Shouldn't it have just...
Faint.
Can you sum...
We have... Of the next one. They both... And the lot... Well, they all...
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. The next were Stanya and Zdena. They both hung around a tavern they call the Hole in the Wall. And the last victim is Alice now. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Good day to you.
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant.
Another one murdered. Why is it you ask?
I fear for my sister. She's also a maid.
Yes. Fear for those close to you is commendable.
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her.
And?
I'm
Who do you...
William Yarka.
Why'd you...
Evident?
And does it...
No.
You raped...
Yes.
How...
When...
No offense, but... How did you know what to do?
I was a bit, When she was smaller, it was fine. But maybe... I was too hard on her.
Why do you think
Yarko was an her only chance, but
you're... How did...
she would...
Disgraced?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then?
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. Isn't it written in Scripture? Speak up for those who have no voice.
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Lumiere accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumiere. Till we meet again.
What do you need?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. So, what'll it be?
What if I simply paid you? I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did.
I heard she disappeared without a trace.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer.
What?
If you want to. I prefer to be called so.
I don't want to pay you any more. I think you could answer my questions directly, and not always. That makes it look like you might have some motive for keeping me from finding out anything about that murder.
Nonsense. Ask me anything you want.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour.
What was Stanya like?
A bold woman. She was hanging around a bard for a while.
Someone from the city?
No, I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He called himself William.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, I know he met with some odd people. Besides, you know what minstrels are like.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open.
Blood?
Not so much, really. If someone done her in...
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. So if I was you, I'd...
That's all I need to know. Are you Sternad?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then piss off. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? Let's make a deal.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too.
Yeah.
I can well imagine. She had some unfinished business with some...
What can you tell me about...
What do you want to hear?
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just...
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no.
Did she have any friends or lovers?
Who come to see that bitch?
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. He said he had some job for her, but he left empty-handed.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokopor. But that reminds me. I saw her a couple...
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he still don't come here no more.
What do you know about this?
Not much. Seems they knew each other. She weren't stupid.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. I think he just told her if she changed her mind.
And could she have changed her mind?
No, no.
I've heard enough. It's William, right?
What is it?
My name's Henry. And no, we don't know each other, and we have a lot of mutual friends.
What? I don't have to talk to you.
You don't need to.
What?
Really? You?
I just got back to the city.
But everyone remembers you.
Come on. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alice's.
The one they found dead.
Oh, her.
I heard she used to go...
Yeah, and?
They say she had a rich young suitor.
Me?
But you could at least pass yourself off.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary.
And did you ever meet York? It was a long time ago.
Oh, that one.
Because somebody killed...
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it was...
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Hey, that's horrible.
That's what I'd like to find out.
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt.
And can you tell me anything else about...
I don't know anything. It was...
And I hear you knew...
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse went...
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I...
And the innkeeper Mole told me a different story.
Fine. We had a bit of fun together.
And aren't you just saying that because you...
Oh, come on! The innkeeper must have got it mixed up. If I was you, I wouldn't take it.
And what about Zdena?
Do I know Zdena?
Did she steal something from you?
A traveling minstrel doesn't have much to steal.
You don't happen to know who she wanted?
There were lots. Like young von Groller. As far as I know, she didn't succeed. Look, why you are... You don't seriously think I...
Well...
And?
That may be true. And now...
But I had nothing...
So you didn't do anything to them?
No! What?
You dare invoke God?
I admit, I'm no saint.
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to...
Go!
Blessings to you.
I need to ask you something.
If you're here for charcoal, you'll have to wait.
I'm not here about charcoal.
Aha.
I heard she was consorting with some...
Well, I don't...
I need to ask you something.
I don't have time for that.
I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella.
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that.
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know...
Lumir himself, the Kuttenberg bailiff's former scribe.
Well, I don't know. I remember Lumir.
But what?
Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. But be nice to her. Until we meet again.
Who are you? If you came here to finish what you started, I'm not afraid of you.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me.
Lumir thought you were dead.
Lumir?
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye.
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all, and he was terribly strong.
And how did you manage to break free?
I had an empty pitcher in my hand.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room, and I was so scared there.
And your lover?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the... He's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well...
How so?
Every single day I had to put up people... Especially, but you can't open...
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, you have to keep a balance.
You said that rich or poor, they all
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place.
Is that so?
He smiled at me a lot, then this thieving... But that servant of his didn't...
Von Groller had a...
Aye, a pud. You never said a word or...
You walked home from the baths at night?
What's so odd about that?
Well...
Ah, right. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a...
Ah. So that's why you...
Right. I went there...
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well...
Why didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they
How are you now?
I'm still awful scared, and I can't even really...
Do you remember anything important about the attacker?
I don't know anything.
And what about when you hit him?
He let me go.
Aha.
He said Scheisse.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then?
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a... Only when I got to my room, I could hear him...
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop?
Oh, he's pretty old.
I don't know him.
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy.
Aye, I thought it... Though, I reckon he's more likely...
Seems you're the only one. I know it isn't easy for you to think. Or when you were running away.
I don't know.
You were walking down the street.
No.
You didn't see anything.
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty, but when I looked, there was no...
Did you understand what they were...
Not at all. But...
It's difficult, I understand. Aside from those voices and the...
I didn't hear him...
And nothing else?
Well, no. Just for a moment. But I still had a... Barton said the man must have had a terribly...
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not...
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you...
If it's in my...
When you catch that bastard...
I'll stop by if I can.
Take care then.
Greetings to you.
Christ, take a bath.
Are you Pine?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for Zdena.
I don't know any Zdena.
Sternad said something different.
You're a friend of Sternad's, are you?
God forbid.
You're right there.
So you knew Zdena?
I know Zdena all right. Why are you looking for her?
I'm looking for a... Back in the city...
Kurva.
What can you tell me about Zdena?
She always had it hard.
And what about Sternad?
Sternad was her guardian angel. She hadn't been thieving with him.
Uh-huh.
That's because... she had a hideout. That's why she'd come to me with her loot. And the last time she was here...
I heard she wanted to sell...
Oh, aye. She left it all here.
And what about that signet ring?
She didn't sell me the ring.
Do you know what kind of luck she meant?
No. I didn't recognize that signet.
Where did she go next from here?
That she did.
Someone followed her on a horse from...
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride.
And did you see him?
No. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with her.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon...
Fuck! I made a point of looking, but I didn't...
Is Dennis' scarf?
Aye.
Will you give it to me?
All the same to me. Here you go.
And could it have been Father Prokop?
What do I know?
I heard he wanted to find her an honest...
I don't know.
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this barge.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'll go...
I hope you don't. Take care.
Whoa, whoa. Come here. Go. Quick. That has to be that ford Pike was talking about. I should take a look around here. Come here! Here, Matt. Search. Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh. She's been lying here a long time. At first glance, this body is... Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her head is smashed in. She must have put up a fight. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. The rips are odd. Like someone... Oh, I can't make much out by now. Did the murderer torture her? Or... Oh, my God. But how did it get inside her? Was she trying to hide it? Well, that's enough. I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer, and that's about all I can find. But that ring is a good li... Go! 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 Ka! Ka! I wanted to ask about another...
Ask away.
Well, I'll go and check out that ford.
I hope you don't. Farewell, sir. Take care, sir.
I'm thinking of buying a rope. Maybe
The promises of Christ. Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord.
I found out some interesting things about those murders.
That's wonderful news. I promised Catherine we'd...
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up.
I reckon I've found out all I can...
And do you know who the murderer...
Not exactly.
I've asked around a bit.
Is that so? See...
Oh, I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well...
Catherine, who do you suspect?
Well, I think it was that priest, Prokop.
That's nonsense.
Couldn't have.
It had to be William. Nobody else knew them all.
Ah, now you're talking nonsense. I'm sure William is innocent.
So I see we disagree.
Well, who...
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out.
Go on, then.
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really?
His own relative?
Why not?
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her,
What do you expect from a Bible thump?
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of.
And did you learn who...
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started Yarka started working for the von Groller family.
I was there to ask whether...
So...
A very wealthy... The mother is quite devout.
So, who...
That would be young Hendel.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising
Maybe. Prokop was...
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her.
To make it impossible to...
May God forgive us.
Do you know who
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances. Maybe...
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him. I heard the daughters of important men come to see him.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake, and I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not?
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make...
I'm sure William wanted...
William is...
Such language. What are you trying to say?
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
I'm not...
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not?
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on... She said she returned from the baths.
You mean someone followed her beforehand to fix...
Who knew that she...
Apparently everyone... She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip.
Doesn't almost every...
Depending on what they take in hand...
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to Stanya...
That's strange, right?
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in...
So, we're looking...
Even I say shizer sometimes.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing...
So we have a witness.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have...
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him.
I don't think Father Prokop is the type...
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get...
And that's probably why he wanted to kill her.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and that's all that Stanya...
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No. Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Someone caught her in the forest when she was... I reckon she put up a hell of a fight.
So he didn't...
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of...
So I reckon he...
She said someone followed her on horseback from Kuttenberg.
On horseback?
Only as a wealthy type who...
that...
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena, and...
What did he have in common?
He had also looked after her. But unlike Yarka, Zdena tried to rob young von Groller.
Von Groller? Yark?
That...
Assumptions.
I'd say it's pretty obvious.
They just left the ring by her body.
It wasn't by her body.
Ah, that's awful. So
Come now, we're nearly there.
I suspect one of the Von Grollers.
what leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Yarka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do you think she was rebel?
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor.
True.
We could be getting somewhere.
Yarka was pregnant. And if the father was young Von Groller, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
Sakura, you're right.
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Zdeno was followed by someone on a horse. Von Groller could afford a horse.
That's not so sure, is it? And maybe the horse was stolen or borrowed.
But it certainly worsens the case for him.
Zdeno robbed Von Groller.
That's true.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
And that's all I can pin on him.
So do we...
Well, old Von Groller.
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect...
Aye.
I don't have a problem with it.
They'll just laugh at us without...
So you want...
There's nothing else we can do.
We have to find some evidence.
You could sneak in.
Or break in.
Catherine. That's not necessary.
So I can either pretend to be a Sawbones...
You're a clever lad.
Is this the house of the Von Groller family?
Yes?
I'm Henry of Skalitz. Master Menhard from Frankfurt sent me to train young Master Hendel in sword.
I'm sorry?
Are you telling me I'm not expected?
No, this is surely my mistake. Take care.
Well,
That's hair. All kinds of brown. I bet it belonged to those dead girls. If this isn't proof, nothing is. I need to discuss that visit to the Von Grollers.
Excellent.
I think we were right. Something seriously fishy.
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
You found something there.
I certainly did.
What was it?
This. He had it in a chest in his room. Locks of hair. All brown.
Hair?
Why wouldn't it? He took them as a keepsake.
Nobody will believe us.
And to be honest, I don't think we're going to find anything like that.
Damn it.
And what about...
Where are you going to find 3...
I don't yet, but... Look, we're all...
And how do you want to do that?
We'll set someone up.
You want to sacrifice?
No, nobody's going to get hurt.
The only one I can think of is Stanya.
She won't have to.
But you haven't had anything to do with him.
We'll wait until the lad's out of the house. Maybe we'll dress Catherine when Hendel comes home and hears what happened.
I'll cause such a scene. Then we'll tell them.
If you say so.
We can use one of the rooms here in the tavern. You'll be hiding across the way. I repeat, at the right moment.
Don't worry.
Where's Hendel? I need to talk to him! Do you hear me? I have to talk to him about our wedding. I won't be left alone with his child.
What are you screeching about, you ninny? There's no Hendel here. Certainly not for the likes of you.
Do you hear that, folks? He fucks me from all sides. Gets me with child, and now he doesn't want to know me. Get rid of her. Disgrace. Oh, so a poor woman has to suffer because of a man's lust. As if it wasn't already bad enough before.
What lies are you spouting, you strumpet? Goodman Hendel never laid eyes on you. Besides, you're too old for him. Nobody will believe your lies.
Old am I? He came to me himself because he wanted a mature woman to breed with. And he never even pulled it out. And he filled me up like a wineskin. Suit yourself. I'll give you some time to think it over. But either you come up with an offer of marriage by evening, or first thing in the morning I'll go to the bailiff. And I'll be damn sure to get justice from him. It's open.
I've come to talk with you.
Where's Hendel?
Hendel? You wanton whore! Debauching my son! A nanny goat like you! The others were at least young, but you! Christ, the trials I have to endure! A husband with both feet in the grave and a son who'll fuck anything with a hole in it. Slice her up so no one will recognize her, and in case what she says is true, gut her too.
Gutting, is it?
I could help you with that.
Get that bitch, you fool!
You're a dead man! You know that? Before I finish you off, I have to ask, why the fuck did you kill them?
I'll tell you. But you aren't going to like it.
I'm listening.
Because it's the right thing to do.
What's right about murder?
All those whores had it coming.
You know that's not true. Stanya hardly knew Hendel, and you still tried to kill her. How many of the others had the same story?
Rubbish. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. He might have met the alehouse wench by chance, but they were intimate together.
Well, she might have been convinced.
That's even worse. And she would even cheat on our master with him.
Confess, then.
Not enough! Just like that companion of yours.
Oh, you're completely mad.
Don't take the Lord...
Then I suppose we'll be... It was all Mandalina's idea, wasn't it?
And can you blame her? That bastard of hers wasn't Hendel's anyway. Now he knows very well, luckily, that they're all whores.
And Mandalina just came to you like that, out of the blue?
Well, one time she came to my chambers and she told me that she'd started an affair with Master Hendel.
Go on.
That she deserved to die for all her sins.
Don't worry. I'm not going to kill you.
I'm not worried. They were all nobodies anyway.
Shut your mouth already.
Catherine!
Catherine, wait.
What should I wait for? I'm gonna cut that bitch's throat.
How dare you?
Shut up.
Let her speak. I have some questions for you.
I'll tell you nothing, you serpent.
If you won't speak now, then But why wait, right?
No!
Why did you do it for...
Don't blaspheme, you heathen.
Come on.
My husband. He drank a lot, ran around with...
And why kill those girls?
I tried, but he wouldn't listen to me.
So your own son didn't listen to you?
Who seduced him and emboldened him with their brazenness?
And what about Hendel? Did he know what you were doing?
That I was taking care of his immortal soul and eliminating his temptation?
He's going to jump for joy.
Speak politely to me, you whore.
Henry, if you have any more questions, you'd better ask them quickly.
And what about the hair in
Well, he kept asking about those whores of his, so we always brought him a lock of hair.
He didn't find that
Out of sight, out of mind.
There was no blood where Alice was found.
That was up to Thaddeus. I only told him to cut them up thoroughly.
Why?
Why? As a warning.
Do you realise you also killed girls who had nothing to do with Hendel?
That's not possible.
And what about that alehouse wench?
That strumpet. I saw how she treated him.
But she really had nothing to do with Hendel.
She wouldn't have smiled at him the way she did if and better sooner than later. That trollop in our service even got...
And what about Zdenna?
She fawned over him like all the others. She deserved it.
I better stop asking.
Burn in hell!
What'll we do with her?
Let's take her to the bailiff.
We don't have to go anywhere.
But we can't do that. She has...
Did you hear her? I mean, she hasn't got her head on straight.
Don't you dare judge me.
Shut your mouth, you sow. You judged and punished.
Our Lord directed me.
Do you hear that?
But that's not justice. Henry, won't you...
I told you, don't...
Put away that knife, Catherine. We'll hand her over to the law.
Don't tell me you'd let her get...
She's not going to get away with anything. She killed so many people.
That's right.
Of course they can. It's eye scratch.
That won't happen.
You can't guarantee a thing.
She's right, though. We can, and if not, then you can always go and pay her a visit.
All right then, you last of the righteous.
Don't worry. I'll take her away.
Well, this was a lot stranger than I expected. Do you think we did the right thing?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. Can we just be quiet for a while?
Why?
Not remorse.
Damn.
Show me a person without...
I suppose you're right.
I'd go and see Lumia.
Tell us, Lumir.
Did it end well?
It ended well.
I'm surprised it worked out.
Well, if it came to it, I would have...
They didn't admit to it.
Sort of. The servant shouted that he was forced into it by Mandalina. And Mandalina complained.
My God!
Oh, if she had an ounce of sense, she would never have started murdering.
Thaddeus will hang. No doubt about that.
I knew.
She'll be punished.
And what will you do now?
It's true I've made amends in the eyes of the law, but...
Won't you go back to drinking?
No, it didn't help anything, did it?
Don't fret.
Yes. You help...
Helping others is the best.
And what will you do, Catherine?
My work isn't done yet. I have to work in the tavern here, and then we'll see.
Do you think we could have done better?
Everything can always be done better, but most...
Catherine is right.
That's not entirely true.
I'm talking about innocent people.
Well...
Thank you, lad. You prevented future murders.
I thank you both.
Here you are.
Yes, here is a...
Good afternoon, sir.
Stanya, I have good news for you. We caught the murderer.
What? Really? Who was it?
It was the von Groller's servant. He was ordered to do so by the young lord's mother.
What kind of nonsense is that? I don't even know her.
That doesn't matter. She thought you were consorting with her son and decided to kill you.
But I hardly even talked to him. But thank you. Now maybe I'll feel better. I won't wake up at night thinking I hurt someone. I won't feel those fingers around my neck.